some kind of stew they make up. And you eat it though because you're hungry.
Before the Russians pulled you out of the camp, what happened when the Russians came in after they killed the guards? I mean, was there general? I mean, you guys were all...
No, the captains and lieutenants of our
Yes, sir.
they took over.
They took over.
The camp, yeah.
Yeah.
And they had the sergeants and the lieutenants keeping everybody in line and contact.
Okay.
And he had a loudspeaker. He would put out the own loudspeaker. Stay in. If you go outside, you'll get killed probably.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did. We stayed in. They marched us down to this camp.
Okay.
Military camp. And they fed us when we got there.
What is that? That sheep?
It wasn't much.
Wasn't much.
But it was better than nothing. It was hot. That's the main thing. So I went out. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Okay.
I got down there and all of a sudden this American Jeep came rolling up.
Uh-huh.
Well, couldn't figure out where this came from. And some major was on that. He was about half drunk. A major was. Now we don't know where we're at really. He said he had a Jeep and a driver and his trailer.
Uh-huh.
He said, I got a trailer full of cigarettes here. He said, I'm not going to give them to you now because I want you to, during the night and tomorrow, bribe these guards to let you out with these cigarettes. And I'll have trucks on the road to pick you up. But we know where the hell he come from, you know. So come to find out, he was from the 104th Division, and they were about 50 miles away. And he came all the way in there with a Jeep to give us these cigarettes to bribe the guards with, which they did. But in the meantime, at night, I was still hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So the Russians went out on a raiding party. They go out looking for booze, you know, vodka stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I asked one of them, he could speak a little English, could I go with them? He said, yeah, you know, I could go. So I went right to the gate with them. Nobody said nothing.
With the Russians?
Yeah, with the Russians.
Uh-huh.
So we went raiding the houses. I felt sorry for the women and children because the Russians were pretty rough, you know. So anyway, I found a can of sardines. Canned sardines, or some kind of sardines, and I ate them. That was my downfall. I thought I was going to die that night.
Yeah, you felt.
No, I got ptomaine poison evidently.
Oh no.
And then next morning when these guys were getting ready to leave, I can't bend over, I can't straighten up. I said, you're not going to leave me here. So I got out and started walking with them, all bent over like this. So the major, sure enough, he had trucks out on the road the next morning picking us up. And it was about 50 miles back to the American lines at the Elbe River. That's where he would come from.
Yeah, it must have been, okay.
Yeah. And we got to the camp. Of course, they take us down, deloused us, take all our clothes away from us, give us all new clothes. They carried us to the mess hall.
Okay.
They went down, they had mashed potatoes, I forget what they had, mashed potatoes, a little small slice of pie, something else, and not much.
Were you able to eat at that point?
Well, that's what I'm going to tell you. So they give us what they recommended that we could eat. But I took 2 bites and I couldn't eat no more.
Yeah, it's sick.
Your stomach's no shrunk, see?
Yeah. I'm going to put this on hold for just a second.
You still had me.
You were describing that the U.S. came and they liberated you. You want to hold that microphone up?
Back to Elbe River.
Back to the Elbe, and they brought you, they deloused you.
Division, yeah.
Deloused you, and
clean clothes.
Clean clothes.
Carried us to the mess hall.
And then they talked to you about the food you could eat.
Well, yeah, they said you could have what's on the plate, but no seconds.
Okay.
You could have milk, coffee, whatever, but no more food. So I took 2 bites. That's all I could eat. So what I did, I had a pork chop on my plate that was included. I wrapped that sucker up and put it in my pants.
Okay.
I ate it that night. I was so hungry later on.
Did your stomach handle it better then?
A little bit at a time, yeah.
Yeah. How long were you at that camp where the 104th was on the Elbe?
They got us out right away.
Yeah?
And they got us on a plane and flew us into Camp Lucky Strike, they call it.
Where was that?
It's around Le Havre.
Le Havre.
Yeah.
Tell me about, where did they fly you out of? You were in the middle of Germany, right?
Yeah, they flew us out of there too.
They flew you out of Germany?
Up to Lucky Strike, yeah.
So they got you out of this camp on the Elbe River. They trucked you to an airfield?
Yeah.
They put you on what kind of a plane?
C-47s.
The C-47?
Little rackety thing.
A little rackety thing?
Yeah, but they got us out.
They got you out, and then where did they flew you near Le
That was
Havre?
supposed to be the best plane we had for transportation
Uh-huh.
during the war. A C-47.
990, the C-47. And then you wound up back in Le Havre.
And he landed in, Paris.
Okay.
To refuel, I guess, or something. So the Red Cross met us. That's the only time I've seen the Red Cross.
Okay.
And they fed us coffee or donuts, you know, whatever you want to eat. So I said, I better not eat nothing. You know, I don't trust myself yet. We go back on the plane, and then the C-47 had benches along each wall.
Okay.
With 5-gallon cans, and everybody got sick, you know. Everybody got sick. And that can, they were running back and forth, everybody throwing up.
Because of the flight?
Oh, no, and that donuts and...
Oh, they didn't like the food was bad. You couldn't handle
it. Bad, it just...
You couldn't handle it?
No, you couldn't handle it.
Was it because of the flight and the food, or
well,
just...
the two, yeah.
Yeah.
The food, and it also was
yeah.
bouncing around. So I sat in the window and just kind of eyed one of the motors. I got through it. I didn't throw up. I'm proud of myself. I didn't throw up.
You were okay on that,
Yeah,
and
right.
you got to Le Havre.
I got to Le Havre. They kept us there about. Oh, they did a lot of getting us back together, I guess you call it.
Uh-huh.
And I guess it was about a week. But their kitchen was open 24 hours a day.
Did you have medical attention at that point?
Oh yeah. We had medical attention back on 104. Got us to the Elbe if you were real bad.
Were you taking any medicine?
No.
No medicine?
No.
They just wanted to start to get you food again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
You come back in a hurry. You come back quick.
Come back quick?
You do. You'd be surprised.
So you're there at Le Havre for a week, then where do they transfer you to?
They didn't transfer, they got us on aboard trucks and carried us down to the water and put us on a boat.
On a boat?
Headed for home.
Where did the boat go? What boat were you on, do you remember?
Yeah, it was just a little cargo ship, little LST they call them.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them. Not LST. What the hell do they call them? Oh, they would transport, you know what I mean?
Yep, on a cargo ship there.
Cargo ship, yeah.
Okay.
Run by the Navy had a Navy gun crew, but the Merchant Marines run the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I did when I got aboard ship was volunteer to cook. I said, how about getting that kitchen? So I did. They let me cook, work with the other guys, you know. And I said, I enjoyed myself the whole trip. It took us 14 days.
Where did you go from Le Havre to
New York.
To New York, on this cargo ship, huh?
It took us 14 days.
How many guys were on this cargo ship?
300.
300?
And the thing, we hit a storm in the North Atlantic.
Yeah.
And the rudder would come out, and I thought the thing would come apart.
Yeah.
I put my life jacket on Le Havre.
Yeah.
I didn't take it off till I got to New York.
Jeez.
Because I was scared of it. I think the thing was going to sink.
This is operated by our guys, though. It's our ship. It's a U.S. ship.
Merchant Marine
ship.
Yeah. And they practice shooting every morning, and we enjoyed watching that. But the boat would go down, hit the water, and go completely out of sight.
Yeah.
And then come back up.
Jeez.
And I'm standing there looking at the thing, you know, my life thing. I said, well, I ain't taking it off. And he had bet some other captain he'd beat him in New York. But he went to North Atlantic with a mistake. Hit the storm.
Jeez.
It took us 14 days. It took us 4 to get over there.
And 14 to get back. Now, when you came back, were you the only ship out there, or were there other ones coming back?
There are other ones, yeah.
They're all coming back at the same time.
Well, you see a spot them here and there.
Yeah, hold the mic down a little bit. Where did you you would spot them a little bit, but then you got through a storm and
We got through the storm, got to New York.
got to New York.
Yeah.
What happened when you got to New York?
It took us off and loaded us down to, not Miles Standish. I guess we came, this is in about 2 or 3 weeks' time, I guess, all total. We carried us down to Fort Meade, I think.
Fort Meade?
Yeah.
You were at, this is about May of 1945 now? May, would you say? Is it still?
I was discharged, no, I stayed in the Army. They got me back down here, and I was at, what's the camp out here in Virginia? Fort Belvoir.
Okay.
I stayed at Fort Belvoir. I didn't get out of the Army until September.
Out till September.
September, I don't remember the date.
So you went to New York, to Fort Meade, and at this point, are you still rehabilitating? Are you?
Yeah. They
What?
sent us to one down the road here. After I tell you what, we got to Fort Meade, and we had a 30-day furlough, I believe it was.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. And they shipped us to Miami,
Okay.
St. Moritz Hotel. We stayed out there for almost a month, the wife and I. Rehabilitation, they call it.
For rehabilitation
Yeah.
to the same. That was very nice.
Yeah, and they brought us back to Fort Belvoir. And that's where I was discharged from.
You're discharged from Fort Belvoir. And how did you get to Miami? Did you fly?
Train.
They trained you to Miami,
Oh, yeah,
and they trained you back up to Fort Belvoir.
Mm-hmm.
And you were with your wife at the
Wife
time.
me down.
And that must have been nice to
Yeah.
to have seen her again after all that.
Yeah.
To have come back.
It was.
And how old are you at this time?
21.
21. You're a young guy. 21 years old. And so in Miami, and then back to Fort Belvoir. And at that whole point, it's still a rehabilitation time period, right?
Well, yeah, but I had a lot of trouble with them because they didn't want to cut me loose.
Okay.
'Cause I had frostbitten feet during the war.
Okay.
I still had a lot of trouble with my feet.
Okay.
And they wanted to keep me in the hospital. And I raised so much hell, they discharged me. That's a mistake I made. Big mistake. I should have never left.
Why?
Because I think I'd have been better taken care of
Yeah.
by staying with them, with the doctors. So I finally got discharged. It was in September. I don't remember the date.
So you're discharged September
I don't remember the date.
September 1945.
Yeah.
1945. Frostbite. Now, so after your discharge, where did you settle down at, Mr. Grantham?
Indian Head, Maryland.
Indian Head. Okay. And then Indian Head, Maryland. And at that point, you're married.
Yeah,
and then
we had a kid already.
I'm already a kid. Okay, so now you're
I went back to work in the powder plant.
in the power at Indian Head.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I know it. Yes.
And they finally gave me the job back, but they were supposed to give our jobs back to us.
Yes, sir.
And we had a hell of a time getting them.
Mm.
So 3 months later, the order came down, reduction of force. So they kicked us all out,
Okay.
you know, all the veterans. So I went to work up at St. Elizabeth Hospital.
Which hospital?
St. Elizabeth?
St. Elizabeth Hospital. Yes.
Same asylum.
Yeah.
We fit in perfect.
Right. Yes, sir.
With me, it did. I stayed there for a while.
Uh-huh.
And then, where else did I go? Oh, well, I left from there and went to D.C. jail.
In D.C. jail.
I stayed there 22
You're
years.
corrections officer there?
Yeah.
You were there?
No, we just kept them locked up.
Kept them locked up.
Police locked them up, we kept them.
You kept them.
That was it.
Okay. And so that was your. Did you do anything with the GI Bill after the war? Did you take?
Yeah, I went to a school and learned to lay tile and bricks.
Did you?
Yeah, bathroom tiles.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you do that at all in your career?
I did quite a few bathrooms, but it was too much like work.
Yeah.
That's a back-breaking job.
Yeah.
You got to be on your knees flat, you know, all the time. But that was between after I got out of service. After I got out of service.
Yeah. As we wrap up, do you think